He said he will release the name of the deputy involved in the shooting and also body cam video that may have captured the shooting that could happen in the next couple of days. As for the stabbing victims, they are listed in serious and critical condition, but are expected to survive. Lauren.
Thanks very much, Felix. Appreciate it. Sheriff Jim Hart says he asked the district attorney's office to hold the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. The deputy involved has been placed on leave, which is standard protocol in these cases. On the Crime Watch, a nationwide search is underway for a man police say murdered both of his parents and then fled to Southern California. Investigators say this man, Omar Escamilla, is accused of killing his parents Ricardo and Amalia Tuesday at their home on Essex Circle. Authorities believe he could be somewhere in Southern California after being recently spotted a few days ago and police finding his brown Lincoln abandoned outside of LA. Police say he has ties to Yuma, Arizona and El Centro. He could be headed that way. If you have any information about his whereabouts, you're asked to contact Salinas Police. And remember, you can remain anonymous. Police in Watsonville are searching for a 21-year-old man accused of kidnapping and raping a 12-year-old girl.
We received a report that the victim had been raped. And then during our investigation, we discovered that he had forced her into a car, taking her to a hotel where she was then raped by him and then prostituted out.
According to investigators, William Ortiz Ruiz, pictured here, and the girl knew each other. Police believe he's already left the area. They've alerted other departments to be on the lookout for him. The 12-year-old was able to escape and is back with her family. Body image, stress, and sexuality. These are just a few of the topics addressed at a youth health summit in Salinas today. It's called the Girls Health in Girls Hands program. Action News reporter Bianca Beltran has the story.
Many of these girls had never met before, but by the end of the day, they shared personal stories about self-esteem and stress as part of a health summit called Girls Health in Girls Hands.
On this card, you're going to write something that you're proud of.
Through workshops and activities, these girls from different parts of Monterey County learned about different ways to be healthy.
We're so happy you guys picked this workshop.
Some of the workshops allow girls to talk through more personal issues like social and emotional health.
We get to talk about things it's usually taboo or people don't talk about outside. So depression, abuse, having other girls that go through the same thing or something completely different, it's an amazing outlook because if you're understanding that you're not the only one with these issues.
What's unique about this summit is that it's run by young women in high school and college who have gone through the program themselves. Many girls walk away looking toward the future with new friends to help them get there.
I did not know what I wanted to do once I graduated high school, but becoming in Girls Inc. and GHGH, I was like, I know what I want to do, I know what I want to change, and it's to be a counselor for young middle schoolers, to be their peer, so someone that they can go to and help, because maybe they don't get it at home, and I know I want to be that person to help them.
Reporting in Salinas, Bianca Beltran, KSBW, Action News 8.
And students who participate in the Girls Health in Girls Hands program are eligible for college scholarships through the Community Foundation of Monterey County. The nonprofit has created a women's fund for those scholarships. About 17 scholarships are awarded every year, up to $2,500 each. For those interested, the next deadline to apply is April. Remembering a groundbreaking journalist, a funeral was held in Washington, D.C. today for veteran reporter Gwen Ifill. Mourners gathered at the Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church for the service. First Lady Michelle Obama and Attorney General Eric Holder were among those who paid their respects. Ifill was a former moderator and managing editor of Washington Week. She was also part of the first 2 women co-anchor team at PBS NewsHour. Holder and Ifill's colleagues remember her impact on journalism.
So our lives have been on really so many levels enhanced by her presence. Her absence will diminish us. Her smile, that focus, that integrity, that commitment to excellence will be sorely missed.
Ifill died after a battle with cancer. She was 61 years old. President-elect Donald Trump continues to work on filling dozens of positions in his upcoming administration. He's meeting with potential candidates all weekend at his golf course in New Jersey. Trump did find some time, though, to do some tweeting. Action News reporter Chris Pallone reports.
The Trump transition kicking into high gear over the weekend. The president-elect meeting with more than a half dozen people Saturday as he tries to round out his administration. Among them, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, who led a blistering effort to defeat Trump during the campaign.
Here's what I know. Donald Trump is a phony, a fraud.
The pair buried the hatchet in an hour-and-a-half-long meeting. Romney has been mentioned as a potential pick for Secretary of State, but Trump advisors characterized the meeting as an exchange of ideas.
Went great.
Appreciate the chance to speak with the president-elect and look forward to the coming administration.
Trump has announced his picks for Attorney General, National Security Advisor, and CIA Director, but has been coy about whether more announcements are imminent. Several more meetings are scheduled Sunday, with New Jersey Governor Chris Christie and former New York City Mayor Rudolph Giuliani expected to meet with Trump. Despite the busy schedule, Trump managed to tweet Saturday morning, taking aim at the cast of the Broadway musical Hamilton. Vice President-elect Mike Pence attended the show Friday night. From the stage, the cast urged Pence to represent all Americans.
We, sir, we are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us.
Trump demanded an apology and said Pence was harassed. A cast member responded that conversation isn't harassment. Chris Pallone, NBC News, New York.
Still to come on Action News 8, rainy weather in the forecast, and that could be good for ski resorts in the Sierras just in time for the holidays. And fighting continues over the ISIS stronghold Mosul. Impact this fight is having on people living in the war-torn city.
You're watching KSPW Action News 8 at 6 with Lauren Seaver and KSPW Weather with meteorologist Ferdinand Holm. Now, coverage you can count on. This is KSPW Action News 8.
Troops faced stiff resistance today from ISIS militants as they kept pushing into ISIS stronghold of Mosul. Action News reporter Lucy Kavanaugh reports from Iraq on the progress of the U.S.-backed offensive.
Well, the push into eastern Mosul by Iraqi forces continues. The resistance that they've been seeing on the ground from Islamic State fighters has been strong. It's been intense. ISIS fighters have been using things like car bombs, IEDs, shelling, all kinds of resistance in order to slow down that offensive and to really bog down the troops in grueling, difficult urban warfare. We have seen also the number of civilians fleeing the city triple in just the past 2 weeks alone to nearly 60,000 people. And it's very difficult for them because many have relatives who continue to remain behind enemy lines, effectively used as human shields by the Islamic State.
We would not know which direction the bullets would come from. We were scared, so we left.
And so even though some of those 60,000 have been able to escape to the relative safety and the refuge of camps on the outskirts of the city, they are still tremendously concerned about their relatives and also aren't sure when they'll be able to return back to their homes. This is going to be a long and hard battle. We're hearing weeks, if not months, in the fight to retake the city of Mosul. Lucy Kavanaugh, NBC News, Erbil, Iraq.
Cape Canaveral, Florida, a new cutting-edge weather satellite was launched into space this afternoon. It will soon provide more data and much more detailed, higher-resolution images. So the new technology is described like super high-definition TV versus black and white with old satellites. Once in orbit, it will begin documenting U.S. weather. Back here in California, major rain and snow expected in the Sierras this weekend. The National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory starting at 10 a.m. Saturday to 4 p.m. Sunday. They're warning drivers that roads could be slick, cause delays. This is good news for the area's popular ski resorts, though, as they're hoping to be open by Thanksgiving. Snow in the Sierras and rain possibly on the Central Coast. My rain boots are ready.
You know what? If you were in Santa Cruz, you could use them.
Okay.
Down here, yeah, not so much. At least not yet. We're still forecasting some rain as we go through the day. Yeah, it took a little while to get down here to the Monterey Peninsula. Santa Cruz, as you can see from the wharf out there, a lot of rain up in the Santa Cruz Mountains. As we look for the forecast coming up here, I'll tell you how much more rain we're going to get. Hopefully some more.
Now, KSBW weather with meteorologist Ferdinand Holum.
Hi everybody, welcome back. We actually got some rainfall on the Central Coast today, and of course you had to be up in Santa Cruz to get the most of the rain. Look at some of these totals. Over an inch for Boulder Creek and Ben Lomond, about 3/4 for Scotts Valley, a little bit less down as you get closer to the beaches. Monterey Peninsula, it took a while for you to get some rain, but you did. Not much, but you got some rain, anywhere from a trace or nothing to about, 14 100ths down in Big Sur. Our friend Bill up in Big Sur, right by Bixby Bridge there, came in with about a 1/4 of an inch of rain. He called in. Thank you, Bill, for calling in. And down the Salinas Valley, unfortunately, goose eggs all the way down the valley. And then as you make your way up into the Santa Clara Valley, a little bit of rain up there as well, anywhere from nothing in Hollister to about 3 100ths in Morgan Hill. As far as your temperatures go, where we had the rain, we had the cooler temperatures, mainly 50s and some low 60s in Santa Cruz Peninsula, middle 60s to low 70s, Salinas Valley, upper 60s for the most part, Santa Clara Valley, 64 to about 70 degrees. Right now, all of us mainly in the 50s, mid 50s right around the bay, Monterey still hanging on to 60, and down the Santa Clara Valley, some upper 50s for you right now. Winds pretty, well, lighter than they were this morning, anywhere from about 5 or 0 to about 15 miles per hour, but the wind direction out of the southeast for the most part there. This morning we had winds a good 20 to 30 miles per hour here in Salinas. And here is the rain. So it started about 8 o'clock this morning in the Santa Cruz Mountains and kind of got a nice little funnel going through there. Most of the rain, as we just saw, fell in the Santa Cruz Mountains, but there's still some showers offshore, which will move onshore overnight. So we still have rain chances for us through the overnight hours and continuing to tomorrow. And here's why. We've got the Stropha low pressure. There's your cold front. Ahead of the cold front, we had those gusty winds this morning. Those have now pushed off to the east. Now behind this cold front, we've got very unstable air. So you've got this line right here. These clouds will move onshore. There are chances for rain in those. And then even more out here as well going through tomorrow as all this stuff moves onshore. So tomorrow, mostly cloudy with scattered showers. That's the best I can do because microcast keeps a steady rain going through here, but as you noticed today, we didn't get that steady rain. So again, more scattered showers throughout the day tomorrow. Also, the potential for some thunderstorms as well. Very slight chance for thunderstorms, but that would be kind of nice. Showers continue all the way through tomorrow evening. This is the last of it, and then the overnight, most of the showers are done, and then for Monday, looks to be dry, and we clear on out of there, and then we get that wind shift to the northwest. Alrighty, for tomorrow, if you're heading up to San Francisco, upper 50s and low 60s right around the bay, and then you get down into the Santa Clara Valley, San Jose, some low 60s. Not going to be as cool as it has been over the last several days with temperatures in the 50s for the overnight lows. And then down the Salinas Valley, again, low to mid 60s for our highs tomorrow. Again, all of us have chances for showers. Temperatures tomorrow mainly middle 60s around the peninsula as well, up in the Santa Cruz area. Low 60s and upper 50s for our highs. More showers for you potentially in the Santa Cruz Mountains as well. So here's your KSBW 8-day forecast. So rain showers going through tomorrow, and then by Monday we get a break. Tuesday looks pretty nice. Another round of rain on Wednesday. Right now, Turkey Day looks dry. Friday, more chances for rain, a break on Saturday, and more chances again on Sunday. So again, we have an active weather pattern going on right now. So there's going to be off and on chances for rain throughout the week. Hopefully we can get a lot more rain with this system here. Overnight lows, 40s and 50s for the most part, mainly 40s though, and even a couple upper 30s.
Well, man, are we thankful for the rain.
Yes, we need it, and we need some more.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we didn't get as much out of this one as we had hoped, but at least the Santa Cruz Mountains got some rain. So.
And there's still tomorrow. Thanks,
Yes.
Ferdinand. Appreciate it.